when you are whole, when you are steady, when you are aligned, when you are strong and powerful, and when you are practicing radical self-love, it is so easy for you to be open to offer that love to someone else.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Spiritually Fly. I'm your host and your guide, Faith Hunter. By listening or watching this podcast, you are taking steps to rebuild your life, learn ways to courageously live out your dreams, or maybe you're here to unlock your potential. So let's drop into the power of self-healing and step into a place of self-care. Along the way, I'll provide you with science-based yet spiritually grounded practices that will enhance your life and elevate your soul.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Faith Hunter, and welcome to episode number 16 of the Spiritually Fly podcast. Oh my goodness. The thing that just popped up into my mind, Sweet 16. And it's perfect that this is the 16th episode because I am going to talk about the 5 love languages. But I am not going to talk about the 5 love languages as it relates to being in relationship or connection with another person. I am going to talk about the 5 love languages as it relates to you, how you practice all of those love languages in a way of pouring in, nourishing, tasting, touching, feeling the essence of self-love. So this episode is self-love languages. How do you practice them? Before I dive into all the different ways of practicing self-love, I do want to go through all of the different love languages for those of you that may or may not know. So let me go through those first. We have words of affirmation, how you speak to the one you love, how you like to receive words. We also have feel and touch, receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of service. These are some of the most powerful ways. And when I think about my relationships that I've been in, but also when I think about the way that I like to receive words of affirmation, how I like to experience touch, how I like to I love receiving gifts. Quality time is extremely important. And of course, I'm a Virgo. I love me some acts of service. So as I talk about these, it is really, really important, right, when you are in relationship with someone to communicate what is important to you, whether or not acts of service is far more important than receiving gifts, or are you about the snugglies, right? Are you about the touchy-feely, right? Do you want your partner to just randomly walk by in the kitchen and just like rub you across your neck, give you a little butt tap? All the things, right? But it's extremely important when we talk about self-love to understand, to communicate, express those exact same acts to ensure that you are a self-contained vessel of love, that you are not forgetting the importance of who you are to you. I'm going to read something really quickly from my book, Spiritually Fly, that I find is Wow, I haven't read this in a really long time, but I find that this particular poem actually is almost like a sweet little love letter to myself. So here we go. Each moment I show up, a modern ritual of breathing, reflecting, and refining, not just my physical body, but the deepest realms of my eternal existence. This is more than just a practice. This is my life. A powerful connection to myself, others, and the divine. Fearlessly unraveling the knots with the highest desire to stay present. I drop into a place where my soul swoons and my body realigns. This is my yoga, my dharma, my path. This is what I call spiritually flying. Yeah. So I remember when I actually wrote that particular poem, I was definitely at a place of returning to me, returning to myself, reconnecting, and using all the tools, my yoga, my meditation, my breath work, my journaling, my deep reflection, in order to tap in and return to that essence of my soul. Like it says, to realign so that my soul can swoon. Because if I'm not showing up fully and completely as myself, divinely in love with every inch of who I am, it is absolutely impossible for me to show true acts of service, to provide physical touch, to give gifts of love. Let's dive into how these love languages can be reflected when we talk about self-love. Words of affirmation. I definitely have to say this is probably one of the easiest ones, but also one of the hardest ones to do when it comes to self-love. It's easy to tell ourselves, you're powerful, you're amazing, you're divine, you are a creative force, but it's hard for us sometimes to believe those words. That's why it's easy to say them, but it's difficult to embody them. Words of affirmation, I find, has to turn into a mindfulness act. It has to be its own practice. And in that practice, when you start doing your affirmations, say if you're doing some really powerful, maybe 3 affirmations, and you're committing to do these 3 affirmations on the next 40 days, the consistency slowly assists us in cultivating a more optimistic look on our lives, on how we view ourselves. It definitely, without a doubt, improves our self-confidence, our overall self-esteem. And when we consistently, over the course of many days, not just one day of affirmations, over the course of many days of affirmations, we are able to drop into that place of personal alignment and inner peace. So for a moment, I want you to join me for just 2 affirmations. And as you do these 2 affirmations, I want you to really deeply feel them. All right. So one thing that I suggest doing is always placing my hands on my body, because that actually starts to get into that act of physical touch, right? So you're kind of merging two. So you're going to place one hand over your heart and the other hand over your belly. And you're going to relax your shoulders and take a couple of deep breaths in and out of your nose. And as you breathe in and out of your nose, I want you to say to yourself, I love myself unconditionally. I love myself unconditionally. I love myself unconditionally. I want you to feel that. And then the next one. I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being. And again, just feel that. Let it move through, let it pour through you, let it seep into every inch of your body, mind, and soul, because you do love yourself. You love all of who you are. And you are definitely, without a doubt, a powerful being. Okay, let's move into acts of service. Let's move into acts of service. How can you serve yourself? I find that acts of service can merge into a couple of different realms. So I'll provide a couple of examples. The first one is self-care. Crafting out time, making time for you, for your overall mental health, as well as your physical body, and doing this consistently. And it's interesting because I'm going to keep saying the word consistently over and over, because that's what it's all about. Even doing your little facials at night, or even just pausing, is an act of service. Consciously and intentionally taking a deep breath is an act of service. Another act of service that I find is extremely important in my life is cooking for myself, preparing a delicious meal for myself, or even this simple act of meal prep, so that the rest of my week becomes a little more fluid and a little easier. That simple meal prep moment is an act of service to yourself. Now, I don't know about you, but things can sometimes get out of control and things can be a little dirty, a little unorganized in my home, right? Especially if you're busy and you're working and you're like doing a lot of things. Sometimes you just need to pause and declutter your closet, declutter your office, clean and tidy things up, because that is going to reduce stress in your life. Or even when you see it, you keep telling yourself, because I do this all the time, I see some pile of clothes on the bed and I'm like, I'm going to get to those tomorrow. And then I take the pile of clothes and put them in the corner. I mean, then they just stay in the corner for like a couple of days. But provide yourself with a little mental ease by decluttering and organizing your home and also other areas of your life. Sometimes you need to let go of a couple of things, organize, readjust, and that is an act of service. Oh, baby, baby, it's time for physical touch. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because when it comes to other people, like when I'm in relationship with someone, I love hugs, kisses. It's probably one of my top love languages is physical touch. But when it comes to myself, it is required, baby. It is absolutely a requirement. It is number one on my list, physical touch. Now, that physical touch, when it comes to self-love, is really related to my yoga practice, my walking, right? I love, love, love going for a walk. The moving of the physical body is an expression of physical touch. Even preparing a nice bubble bath or salt bath for yourself is physical touch. Giving your body time to feel loved and luxuriated, and giving yourself time to just dropping into the warm water, relaxing and letting go is physical touch. Now, here's one that I find is not something that I do, but many people do enjoy it. A really nice weighted blanket when they go to sleep at night. That heaviness feels like they are in a cocoon. When I fall asleep at night, my physical touch involves my eye mask and taking a little lavender and rubbing it on the soles of my feet. And then finally, when it comes to physical touch, massage. So I love, love, love get out of the shower, rubbing body oil all over me. Feels good from head to toe. But also when it comes to massage, and this is like grown folks stuff. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with your vibrator providing yourself with a little self-love in the form of a machine. Physical touch. There you go, people. Quality time. So quality time for me definitely is kind of merged with the physical touch thing when I talked about going for a walk, like taking myself on a walk on a beautiful day, like right now in New Orleans, the sun is like coming through this window right here, right? So I'm like, yes, it's cool down. It's not 900 degrees here in New Orleans right now. So I'm going to go on a nice walk because it's cooled off, yet I get a little sun. Quality time. And I do it alone. I just go out there and just soak up the vibes of NOLA. Dropping into nature. When I go visit my mom, I absolutely love just taking a moment because we live in the country. My family home, my mom and dad's home is in the country. And so just like planting my feet in the grass definitely provides me with this moment of grounding. And that is pure, pure quality time. Take yourself on a date night, a movie night, a dinner date. I mean, take yourself out, as my girlfriend loves to remind me. Treat yourself. Like she sends me all these really great memes. I love Carla Jane. So when she sends me those memes, I'm like, yes, yes, high five, sister. I am going to treat myself. I deserve it. So without a doubt, guys, take yourself on a date night, movie night. That is spending quality time with you. The last thing I want to share when it comes to quality time, maybe another little example, is just curling up in your bed on the sofa, sipping some tea, sipping a glass of wine, reading a great book, maybe a great book like Spiritually Fly, but just kind of doing what feels good. That quality time may also include doing a hobby or any activity that nourishes your body, your mind, which is so important, and feels good to your soul. Yeah. The act of receiving gifts. Again, treat yourself. Treat yourself to a trip, baby. Maybe that trip is a staycation in your own city for one night. Maybe the treat yourself is getting in your car and going to visit your friends and spending the weekend with them and saying, you know what? That's a gift to me because I want to be in community. Yeah. We all know that it feels great to buy yourself a gift, but don't just purchase a gift or gift yourself something, splurging, right? As we call splurging, just in a moment where you're like, oh, well, I deserve this, right? Nah. Sometimes that gift is something small. It's like, I am going to treat myself to a chai this week, right? If you're someone that only makes your coffee or your teas at home, I'm going to treat myself to a beignet. I have to say, people, I've been in New Orleans for, oh my God, almost 10 months now, and I have not eaten a beignet. Maybe that's what I will do this week. I will treat myself to a yummy, sugar-coated beignet. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to treat myself. Something small. So the gifts don't have to be extravagant. They can be small, tiny, and may not even have to cost that much. Or maybe the gift can also be free. And it can be merged with one of your other areas, meaning your quality time. And you treat yourself to sunbathing, moon gazing, tree hugging time in nature. And one of the last things when it comes to gifts, invest in you. Invest in your self-care. Invest in your knowledge and education. Invest in making time for your heart. Invest in your physical body. It may be purchasing an app so that you can connect and chat to a therapist, dropping into a meditation. And you're like, I'm committing to this membership so that I can go online and meditate and do my affirmations every day for my overall health and well-being. That's a gift. All right, beautiful people. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this particular episode of Spiritually Fly. And as we close out, I want you to remember to practice self-love every day. I want you to commit to at least one of those love languages that you are going to do for you every single day, like every single day. So if it is an act of service, it is physical touch, it is love, like do something special for you every single day. Because when you are whole, when you are steady, when you are aligned, when you are strong and powerful, and when you are practicing radical self-love, it is so easy for you to be open to offer that love to someone else. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.